Hello, HCG family. So it's Heather checking in on Vlcd day 47, and yesterday I got to eat real food, which was fun. I had the best chicken salad ever. We went to a restaurant called Houston's, and I know they're across the U.S. We have 4 in Atlanta, but they have the best chicken salad. So anyways, well, I weighed in this morning and I was a pound down from yesterday, so I'm at 147.8. Yeah, 147.8. I was at 148.8 yesterday, so it's officially 32 pounds lost from my after load up days, so my load in weight. Yeah, so that's good. I got on Facebook this morning and just looked at a little bit of my news feed, and there was a quote from a Celebrate Recovery, which is where I had gone when I was in church, and it said it was kind of along the lines of the reason why it's hard for you to get out of situations at times is because you rely on your own power, your own will. And most of the time when you do that, your willpower actually gets in the way of your recovery. So I thought that was very, very incisive into what I feel like I have been mentally going through in the last couple days. So I thought that was interesting and on many aspects because, God showed me this plan that this protocol, and kind of gave me the tools, and here I am with the tools and placing them, and I'm relying on my own willpower to make it succeed or have it fail. So I thought that was very revealing, that God's saying, hey, you can't do this. I got myself into this mess in the first place. And, he showed me the tools, and it's my job to, do the protocol as best I can, but I need to rely on his strength. And I thought about this earlier in the week too. One of the things I remembered was being very, very young in my faith and wanting to change certain things. I would always pray that God would release that desire for me to do that aspect, to change my desires and line my desires up with what his desires were, and therefore release that desire that I had to do those things, whether it was, cussing or smoking cigarettes or whatever. So I thought seeing that passage today just kind of hit it home a little bit more for me, because even though you want to stop doing something, sometimes we need help doing that, and that can come from God. And I know Shoreline had mentioned this yesterday, was being involved in a community, and AA is very similar to this place called Celebrate Recovery. It's just one is church based, or Christ based, but her saying, sometimes we need that accountability, and that's so true. Sometimes we lean on ourselves too much, and we don't look for God's power or his strength, and we also don't turn to other people who are more experienced, people who have been through it and people who are going through it, because one thing I knew a long time ago was a lot of times we'll watch these vlogs and we see things that other people are dealing with, and it kind of gives us a new perspective on what we're going through right at that very moment, So, or we can relate to what they were, where you were 2 weeks ago and how they're feeling right then. And that's why this community is so important. And that's why I think it's so successful. We can crowd around each other and rally each other on, but I know personally for me, I need to start praying that prayer, which is, God, release this desire for me to look to food other than you. And, as much as I want to do that in my own power, I need his power, because I am nothing. I am nothing, and I didn't find this protocol. He put it in my lap. I think once you start to reevaluate and stop giving yourself so much credit sometimes, be a little bit more humble, and I think that's what he wants me to do, is try and rely on him for this period, and just really, that's my prayer, is that all of us, that God would release our desire to have an addiction to food, because it's something that we've done, probably the majority of our lives is dependent on something else. And I know I have, and I didn't even realize. I had prayers about this stuff. I would pray a long time ago that God would make me more like him. And it's awesome how prayers like that, sometimes you're like, well, what do you want? Me to work on, God? What do I need to work on? And sometimes it takes time for those things to become apparent. Sometimes you have to go through a lot of struggles before you actually realize how dysfunctional you are in one area. And that's his timing, and that's when he sees fit, and he knows you're ready to go through that and figure it out with his help. So I thought that was really good. It kind of just made me reevaluate how I'm handling this whole protocol. But apart from that, I'm excited that down another pound. So I'm just going to eat on protocol for the rest of, I think I've got 5 more days. So till Wednesday, and then I'll be on the Vlcd on Thanksgiving, which I'm not. It's just my mom's coming over and my boyfriend, and that's it. It's just going to be very small. We're going to stay in town. Got to work the next day, so there's not going to be any problem with me doing that, because we were probably only going to make a couple sides that they really want, and like mashed potatoes or whatever they want, and I can eat. I'm going to eat some turkey, but, and I know that's not necessarily on protocol, but, I'm just going to have that. I'm not going to eat a ton either, so, and then just maybe some veggies, so, I don't see a problem with it. And, I'm just happy to hear all of y'all and everything that you're going through, and, I loved Andrea, HCG Envy, I think that's right. I'm really bad with names, so it's not that I don't want to do shout outs, I just forget names. I know all your faces really, really well, but I'm learning, but Andrea had that letter to her body, and I really want to challenge everybody to do that, because I think that is, it's great to be that, it's encouraging when somebody is open, and I think it encourages other people to be more open. And I'm going to write a letter to my body. I'm going to do it this weekend, and I'll probably vlog it sometime, maybe this weekend or maybe next week. But yeah, I challenge everybody to write a letter to their body. Let's do this, because I think without us all being open and frank and honest, and really perceptive, I think that everybody grows when we do that. And I know it's encouraging to me, because when you see other people being really open and just, taking that Band-Aid off and showing your wound in a sense, and being just, I think when other people see that, it impacts them just as much, sometimes maybe more, than it impacts you, maybe, And I think that should be something that we should do, because I think it was just awesome. And I was just floored that she did that and thought of it that way. And because I wouldn't be bright enough to or to think of write a letter to my body. My body deserves a couple letters from me, you know, at this point in the game. So I thought it was great, and I really want everybody to do it. So that's the task for today, HTGers, is let's write a letter to our body. But I love you all. I hope you have a wonderful Friday. TGIF. We got a lot of stuff we're doing this weekend, but I do want to do the Skype group. I'm a little bit, I've never done it before, so I got on there to see if I had an invite. I did not see one, so maybe I need to add some contacts in there or something so that I can find the invite. But I'll work on that today, and I hope y'all have a wonderful weekend, and I look forward to seeing your vlogs. I hope everybody has really good losses today. If you're stabilizing, great stabilization. If you're loading, happy loading. And I will check in with you sometime this weekend. Love you guys.